Hey, what is going on, guys? Origin Gamer here today. So this video we're going to be discussing 5 fire natural 3-star monsters that I find with interesting skill sets and could find to be pretty useful. So, the first one on the agenda, Togros. A lot of people hate on Togros, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to actually put him here in the spotlight. A lot of people really doubt Togros and really doubt his skills and really don't see his uses. And some people don't like him because most people, they're like, oh, I get to conquer arena, like Togros is shit. Well, he still has his uses. He's not too horrible in arena in the right composition. He can be pretty good if given enough speed, attack power, and enough accuracy. He could be pretty good. So let's take a look at his skill set, shall we? His first skill, when you get a crit hit, will increase your attack bar by 30%. Not bad, gives him more turns. And then his second skill attacks all enemies and reduces their defense for 2 turns with a 70% chance. That is fully skilled. This will land so much. It's insane. An AoE armor break from a natural 3-star monster that's farmable. That is really good. And that is one of the reasons why I think he is an amazing monster. On a lot of speed, you can use him in compositions in replacement for Galleon. If you don't have Galleon, you can use Togros, like speed, attack, accuracy, and Togros really could be a good arena monster, or a good guild war monster for that matter, if given enough speed and with enough accuracy. Being able to AoE armor break is pretty good. The only downside, he doesn't get to attack buff like Galleon can, but that doesn't mean that Togros doesn't have his uses. And then he has this skill here. Strikes an enemy with a giant meteor, stunning the target and inflicting continuous damage on the rest of the enemies for 3 turns. 3 turns of dots. Really good. On top of that, an AoE attack that can stun one monster. So, rune set, Violent, or Despair. Pretty much Violent or Despair are the best options for Togros. If you want Togros as straight nuker, Rage Blade or Fatal Blade. If you want him as just like an actual attacker and you don't care about landing these all the time, go ahead and do that. They'll land these effects enough anyway, but with a lot of attack power, these can devastate. I've actually had Togroses give me hell a few times in some of my battles in arena, grinding up. So that's one monster. Now one of the other monsters, number 2 out of 5, is the Firecat girl. Yeah, Firecat girl. That's what we're going to call her. So, I like her skill set a lot. Her stats aren't too horrible. 404 attack, 4400 HP, 104 speed, with 279 defense. Her stats aren't too horrible. They're not great, but they're not bad. She is an attack monster. Now, when you awaken her, she does get a little bit of extra resistance, so that's pretty good. Now, what exactly does she actually have to offer that would make me want to use her? Well, her first skill has a 25% chance to stun, which is not bad. Her second skill increases her crit rate for 2 turns and counterattacks when attacked. So, Violent Revenge, anybody? And then this third skill inflicts great damage with a strengthened energy punch, and decreases the attack bar to 0. Her with enough given speed on Violent Revenge, I can see her being pretty useful in arena. She doesn't have a lot of defense, but she gives herself her own counterattack skill, with her first skill being able to stun. Violent definitely would help her out a lot, being able to reproc this to up her crit rate some more. So attack, crit damage, attack, Violent Revenge, I feel would be pretty good. Or if you want to do Rage Revenge, you can do that too. I just feel that, she has potential, and I really want to see, how much damage she can actually do with this skill here, considering it says inflicts great damage. So I'm curious as to see how she'd work. So I might build her and test her out, just to be sure. Third on the list, Pharaoh. Why Pharaoh? Well, he's like the Water Imp champion, just with a bit of a different skill set. So he's got the same skill set, but one different technique. So he's still got the spear charge, which can up his attack power if he gets a crit. So you still have him with him being able to self buff, but he still has his skill that does damage proportionate to the enemy's max HP. So that's pretty useful still anyway. But instead of having the skill that attacks randomly 5 times and has a 25% chance to ignore defense, it has this flamethrower. There's a ball of flames to attack all enemies twice and inflict continuous damage for 2 turns with a 75% chance. You don't really need accuracy on him because skilled up, this will more than likely land on all of them. Now, theoretically, you could do him on Despair with a very high crit rate, very high crit damage, and very high attack. He doesn't have the biggest amount of attack, but it's not the smallest. He does have a fair bit of defense and a fair bit of speed. So Despair Blade, I think, could be pretty good on him. Being able to have an AoE that can stun and inflict continuous damage twice, I think is a pretty good skill set for Pharaoh. And when he's awakened, it increases his crit rate by 15%. So all the more crit damage, the better. Now the next monster, the Fire Mammoth Granite. Why do I like him? Well, he has a good skill set, although there is a downside. So, his first skill provokes an enemy with a 50% chance. That one's not really that important, but because he's an HP tank and he's got a lot of defense, it helps. Now, his second skill stomps to attack all enemies and decreases the attack gauge by 25% with a 50% chance. An AoE attack gauge drop. That is already a good skill, but the damage is based off of his max HP, and he has a lot of it. You can give him a shitload of HP. This is going to do a significant amount of damage, and it's going to drop their attack gauge. The only downside to that is he doesn't have a lot of speed. And that is the only thing about him that I really do not like. He's not fast. And that is the problem with him. He doesn't have speed. But he has this skill here. It's just like Rauk. Attacks with another ally, but it has a chance to weaken the defense for 2 turns with a 75% chance. You can use accuracy on him. Accuracy substats, give him about 50% accuracy, and he will do extremely well. But you're going to want him to be extremely speedy. But Swift wouldn't make sense on him because he doesn't have naturally high speed. You're not going to get that big of a gain off of Swift runes. Violent would be good on him for being able to proc extra turns and make the most use out of Battle Charge, as well as be able to make the most use out of Enter Battlefield and Battle Stomp. They don't have a high cooldown chance either, and when fully skilled, probably would be 2 to 3 turns. Well, between either 2 or 3 turns on the cooldowns. So he has a nice skill set, and I think on Violent, Granite could be pretty good. Probably Violent, maybe Violent Revenge, I think would be a decent skill set on him. I know Violent Revenge is starting to become really popular due to Necro, but Violent Revenge always has been good. And the reason for that is Violent being able to proc extra attacks, and when you get attacked, you bounce back, and you get to attack again. But the reason why I say Violent Revenge for Granite is because the first skill being able to provoke. So it's only a 50% chance to provoke, so it's a 50-50 shot. But if you provoke them and they attack you in your revenge, you can provoke them again. So they don't get to move and attack other allies. So he can be very useful for distracting attention. And with his max amount of HP, his high defense, he really could have some good arena versatility as a good fire tanker. So I think that Granite has a lot of potential, just needs a lot of speed to bring out the most potential that he can do. But like I said, on Violent Revenge, pretty much just build him like Rauk, but HP, like maybe speed, HP, and maybe Granite will actually be pretty good. So I think I'll test him that way. And I do have a Granite. But the last monster I actually really want to talk about is Ignotus, the fire shark. He is an odd monster. He is a really odd monster, but I really, really like him. I really like how I built him and how I ruined him. So, for right now, I have him on Violent Will. Violent on him is insane because he gets to go again and go again and go again and go again. He procs a shitload. Or at least the proc rates allow him to. But why do I like him? He's an HP tank. He has a decent bit of HP, decent bit of attack, decent defense, and decent speed. So he's fast, he's got HP, and he's got defense and enough attack to cover himself, and the skill set to do so. So what makes him really useful? So he can up his own crit rate, but that's not too big of a deal. He has an AoE attack break and attack speed drop. And it's a 50% chance to do both effects. You go ahead and use his AoE, deals damage to all enemies, and drops their attack power and attack speed for 2 turns. That is nice. And it is reusable in 4 turns. Fully skilled, this is going to be pretty quick, and you're going to be able to just constantly AoE, attack break. He's going to be insane. And then you have Wave Harpoon, which attacks the enemy 3 times, and has a 75% chance to weaken the defense. This would be a good 6-star HP. Well, this would be a good 6-star attacker to have in Arena if you want a good support attacker. Let me show you why. So, here's mine. I don't have him awakened yet, but he is at 4 stars. He's got, well, under good HP subs, he can have a good amount of HP. Under good speed, he goes first. And he's got decent defense to deal with problems. And decent enough attack to deal with problems. But these skills, I mean, this goes down to 3 turns as a cooldown, which 3 turns on Violent is not an issue. Then you have this. This stays as 4. Well, sorry, this goes down to 3 as well when fully skilled. I need to get a lot more sharks because I need to feed him. I need to feed him bad because I really like him and I want to 5-star him pretty quick. On Violent, oh my god, he's insane. So anyway, those are the 5 monsters that I decided to discuss today for Fire. So go ahead and leave a like and subscribe today for more Summoners War videos, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, bitches.